What's up, everybody? It's BombshellNi back with another bomb video. So if you read by the title, what we're going to be doing today is constructing a lace wig. I haven't did this in a long time. I used to do it a lot more, but I'm ready. I'm excited. So let's just get into it. So first things first, we're going to be using a mesh cap. I get this from my local beauty supply store. I normally get the one with the fake face on it, but it's the same thing, just a mesh dome cap, because nobody wants a spandex one in the summertime. You're going to be sweating to death. So just get you a mesh spandex cap. Okay, it should look like this mesh. You should be able to see through it. Okay, so this is the front of my wig dome head, and for me, I always put, you'll see two sides to it. So this side, you'll see the stitching goes from like here to here, and then at the end of it, you'll see the stitching gets a little bit more narrow. Okay, so we want to go with the wide side is going to go in the front. So we're going to put this on the head. Okay, perfect. This is a perfect fit for the most part. So it seems fine for the most part. But I just want to try this on my head off camera before I get started, because I don't want this thing to be too big. So hold on, we'll be right back. Okay, y'all. So it worked. I was nervous for a second because I told y'all I ain't did this in a while, but we know what we doing. I just didn't want to have no Humpty Dumpty set on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall wig, because I tell you what, I would be pissed. But anywho, let's get into it. So for today's wig installation, you're going to need thread and C-shaped needles. I have two already ready because it just helps me go a lot faster, and long thread to go along with them. Double knot them at the ends because we do not need any track slipping. And then of course we have our mesh dome cap. And then for today's wig, we're going to be doing Italian curly hair with an HD lace. And the hair that I have is from minkhairweave.com. I love them. Shout out to y'all. Okay, send me some hair. I've been with y'all for years now. Okay, let's get some hair sent my way, Mink Hair Weave, if you watching. But anywho, I got a 13x4 HD lace 20-inch Italian curly, and let's just get into this lace. Like, let's get into it. Look at that. That's good quality. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing with this. And then for our bundles, we have a 20, a 22, and a 24-inch of Italian curly. And then on the side, I got some Chick-fil-A nuggets and some coconut water. One, because you gotta stay hydrated, and I know I'm gonna get hungry. Okay. And then last but not least, you're gonna need some T-pins. There we go. These are T-pins. T-pins help you keep the wig secure while you're working, because we don't need no track slipping, and we don't need to be misplaced in that frontal. Okay. So the most important step is your placement of your frontal. All right. So, and because I had to put this so low, it's gonna look like my frontal is low, but trust the process, because this is how big my head is, so I need all the surface to be filled up. So I'm gonna take the frontal, and you see this is where the cap starts. You want to take the frontal probably like 1, 2, take it about 2 inches below the cap. Put a TP in there. Bow. Okay. And then we're gonna put a T-pin in the back. so we can keep the placement good. Okay, and then we're just gonna TP it on the sides. And I will show y'all after I pin it what it should look like. Okay, so after you finish placing it correctly, if you have your frontal placed correctly, you will see like a M formation in the front. That's letting you know that your frontal is placed right and it's ready to go. And if you look at the backhand side, let me show y'all the back. So if you look at the back, I use T-pins. This goes from this end. I use T-pins to lay it going straight across. Okay, we want that line to be as straight as possible going across the top of this wig. Okay, that's what we want. And it's ready to be sewn down and get them bundles on there. So let's get started. Okay, so right now what we're doing is sewing the frontal down. And you want to make sure that your stitching is tight and not too far apart. Like it should only be about a pencil, not even a pencil, probably half of a finger width apart, because you want to make sure this is tight and secure. And you loop under and you keep going until you reach the other side. Sometimes I put my finger inside of the thread like you just see me do there, because when you have long pieces of thread, it can get a little stuck and knotted when you get to the bottom. And ain't nothing worse than getting all the way through with some thread and now you got a knot in it and it's messing up the whole foundation. Nobody got time for that. I just want to take a moment so y'all can see the stitching that I did. So this is, sorry y'all, that's my dog. So this is how close I'm talking about when you stitch your frontal. Like we do not need that thing sliding. Like it needs to be stuck like Chuck, okay? Okay, so the first bundle we're gonna put at the bottom is the longest, which is my 24 inch. But get into this hair, y'all. Like it has a nice shine. Look at the curl. Yes, I cannot wait for the finished product. But this is the first one we're gonna go ahead and put in there, because I always like to just put my longest at the bottom to give me the most length. But again, it's gonna end up getting cut anyway. But yeah, so y'all enjoy some of this music and watch me work. Okay y'all, so what I'm doing now is I didn't think that I was gonna double my bundles, especially my first one, but looking at like how much space I got, like if we looking at the wig from, I have this much space, okay, but that space go fast and you gotta be strategic about how you do it. I do recommend, if you just getting started with making wigs, that you do marker it when you go in to do it, but I've been doing them for so many years now that I just kind of can eyeball it. But what I do is I take my tracks and I start measuring how much track I'm gonna use with the first bundle. So I'm gonna keep this double web. So right now it's double web. I'm gonna start from here and go to there. Okay, so I know for my first one it's gonna be this much. So then I take my next finger and I start there. And then I go where I'm going to do my second track, which would probably be right here. Boom. That's my second track. Okay? And then I take that and I go up again. Boom. That's my third track. Okay? And now I know I'm not going to have enough to start my fourth, so that'll be singled. And then we'll go on to the next bundle. So that's how I go about measuring out, and we're just gonna go ahead and get started with sewing these together. So I take my sewing needle, and as you see here, I got 2. All right, come on. I know, right? All right, so I take my 2 tracks, and I take my needle, and I take it through both tracks. Be careful, you don't want to poke yourself. Okay, there we go. Take it through both tracks because you are sewing them together. Okay, so take it and run it through it like so, all the way until the end. And then from this point, I'm gonna take it, and wherever I want this track to start, which is right here, this is where I wanted to start. When you are sewing, it is an elastic band down here at the bottom, okay? Do not sew your track through that, because when you go to put, just make sure that you sew it through just the mesh cap, okay? So let me show y'all what that looks like. I'm gonna zoom in. So when you go to sew this, take your needle and put it through the cap. You should be able to see the needle coming through this mesh part. If you can't see that needle through this mesh, you going through the cap, babe. And it's not gonna have no type of elastic pull when you go to put it on your head, because you're gonna bend and sew the track to the elastic part. So make sure you're just sewing through the mesh part. That's only down here. Once we get past this elastic part, all this is mesh. You don't have to worry about that. But down here for the bottom, please be careful, okay? And make sure that you are just taking it through the mesh cap, okay?
You know it's all your fault. No, I don't want to say no. You're broken down the door. Don't let me go, no. I just wanna hold you. I need no control, no. Would you let me love you? Me love you, it's all over. I lost my...
One thing I also do, a little trick that can help y'all go a little faster, is I pull the thread out. So this thread I'm holding right here with this hand, with my left hand, I pull the thread out a little bit, and as you can see, when I'm pulling the thread out, it brings out just the mesh part. So you really don't have to worry about hitting that elastic part, because as long as you bring the mesh out, you can just slide it right through there. And again, like I said, make sure you're going under both tracks, okay?
I gotta show you. Would you let me love you? Me love you, baby. I got nothing to unwind your face. You belong and you make me feel sorry. I got my eyes on you, cool like a girl. I'll be patient with you, no more fighting.
Okay, so for me, since this is curly hair, I'm not gonna cut the tracks because I really don't need to. It's curly and the hair is gonna be big. But if you have straight hair, wavy hair, any hair that you intend on straightening, I would definitely make sure that you cut those tracks, okay? So I do 2 knot techniques, and sometimes I just tie it in a knot and I pull it just like, you know, you're not in anything. And then sometimes what I do, if I want to make sure that it's really secure, is I'll take it right back through like so. Then once I do that, I take my needle, I wrap it around 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then you just pull it. And pull it, tug on it a little bit, and you have 2 knots. And now I'm just gonna go over to my next row that I had made in my head. And I'm gonna do something called the fold over method. So fold over just basically means that you're folding over the wig. So let me show y'all. Okay, so the way I fold over my wig is I take the tracks and I just go where I'm gonna be and I fold it over. But when I fold it over, I take the 2 tracks and I lay them overlapping each other flat. Okay, so you see how right now they're together, tracks are together. I'm gonna take one and put it a little underneath the other. That way it's a flat lap over, okay? Next bundle, you guys, we are on to the 22-inch bundle. So now what I'm doing is I am just singling the tracks as I go across. Sorry, that's my computer. But now I'm just singling the tracks as I go across. And yeah, again, we just rocking and rolling. And the reason why it's already and the reason why it's already flat like this is because I went ahead and put the T-pin needle on the other side right there. Boom. And again, that just makes it so much easier on you. It allows you to free up one of your hands. There we go. It allows you to free up one of your hands and just really not have to worry about holding the track while you're sewing. Nobody got time for that. So yeah. Again, just pay attention to how I am pulling out the why can I talk, y'all? Pulling out the mesh cap with the weft and this thread to make it easier for me to put the needle back through on the next one and just kind of make for a more seamless flow, because nobody wants something to be taking forever. Okay. And the reason why I'm pulling this down is because sometimes when you're doing it, it can begin to rise up a little bit, creating a bigger gap. And I don't want that big of a gap between these tracks, only because they're single tracks. But again, you still just want to keep in mind how much space you have left, how much track you have left, and continue to measure out your tracks as you go so you're aware of your placement. And you won't get up to the top looking like, what happened? Or, I don't have it. Like, I've been there before. It ain't nothing worse than doing a whole wig, getting up to the top, looking at your bundles and realizing, I don't have it. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Because you ordered the hair online, like you ready to rock the wig, what are you going to do? This is exactly why it's important to make sure that you measure your webs, like I told y'all to do when I did the first bundle. Okay?
Would you let me love you? We love you, baby. I got nothing to unwind your picture. You belong in you, make me feel something. I got my eyes on you, pull like a curtain. I'll be patient with you, no more fighting.
Alright, so we have finished the wig. Look at these curls, yes. Make sure you stay tuned for part 2 when I install it and transform these curls into a red bodacious curls. But before we end the video, it's always important that you turn your wig inside out after you have constructed it. Okay, so you'll look at your wig. All right, you'll have your frontal on the front. Peel the frontal back. Okay, you want to peel the frontal back. It's fine. It is not going nowhere. You have sewed it on. Okay, now what you're gonna do is, you see where this line meets? You're gonna cut this, but be sure to not cut what you sewed, because we ain't got time to be trying to do that again. Okay, so you take it and you cut it off. And snap, and we are done. She is ready to be worn. You have yourself a lace frontal 4x4 on all sides wig. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, okay, so you can be a part of that bomb crew, because that's my bomb crew. That's my bomb crew. That's my bomb crew. A bomb crew. A bomb crew. But until next time, make sure you guys stay tuned for part 2, where I install this and transform this lace, honey. But until then, stay safe. Love you guys. Peace.